there are like a lot of myths when it comes to all of this stuff. So if you're okay, can we play like a little game of myth or fact?
Sure.
All right, cool. So I went through and prior to this, like trawled through some Reddit posts and had a look online. And, you know, some of it, who knows if it's right or not. Some of it's obviously right and obviously wrong. Okay, so the first one is I see a lot of people commenting and saying credit reports don't matter. I still got approved. In your experience, is that a myth or a fact that credit reports and credit scores don't matter?
Definitely a myth. They definitely do matter. Like you just said, people think that just because they got approved, that means that they must have been fine or that they didn't look at it or it didn't matter. But a lot of those people aren't looking at the interest rate that they are getting approved at or looking at what they could have been approved at. They're just happy that they got approved for the money and don't care how much they're paying for it. So definitely important, and you can save thousands of dollars by having a better score.
One of my friends went and got a car loan approved through a dealership, and I asked them the next day after it was all done, what was the interest rate? And they're like, well, what are you talking about? Like, well, didn't you ask that? And then so you look at all of the documents and they were maybe 6% above what you could have got literally by just applying online somewhere else. Yeah. And then when you delve into it, it turns out that there's some stuff going on with the credit reports and the credit score. So that's a good point to know. All right, so people who might be listening to this might be thinking, I should only check my credit reports or my credit scores just before I'm about to apply for finance, or even just screw it, wait until after I'm rejected. Yeah. Is that a myth or a fact, do you think?
Definitely don't do that. Please go and check them. Monitor them regularly. Don't just check when you're ready to apply for something. If there is incorrect information on there, it's not always as simple as just clicking your fingers and getting it removed. There's processes that need to be followed. So keep an eye on it, monitor it, check it regularly so that if something does pop up and you need to apply in a hurry, that you've got the confidence that there's no incorrect information on there.
I think that's a really good point, because if you think back to what you were talking about before with that person who's applied for the home loan and is deceased, he's sitting there ready for the home loan, yep, probably ready to move in, put an offer on it, a deposit down on it. It's too late to check it then and do something about it. If he had checked all the time, then he would have seen that he was deceased.
For the average consumer watching this, how would we go about checking our credit report and knowing exactly what score that is?
Yeah, sure. So at Credit Repair Australia, we can help you check the credit reports for free. We actually have access to both, so we'd get both of them for you. And we can go through them with you, see what's on there, see if there's anything that does need to be fixed up. We can also implement some ongoing monitoring so that if there are any changes to the reports, we can let you know of that by SMS as well.
Awesome. And so when you do that, does that impact the credit reports or the credit scores?
No, it doesn't. So when we check the reports, it doesn't impact the score at all, and it's the same version that the lenders would see. So. Oh,
fantastic. Talk to us about these online credit score apps. I'm certain you've got a position on those. You see it all the time, check my credit score and all of this sort of stuff. Why are those a potential problem?
Sure. So, they're definitely popping up everywhere. Usually they only check one of the bureaus first of all. So if you're checking that, you might not be getting all the information. There could still be something on the other report, and that could then cause an issue. They're not always updated as regularly as they should be. That doesn't help either. And realistically, the reason that they're around is that they can try and get some commission from pushing you into one of their finance partners. So even if you do see the score, you're not seeing the full report. You're not seeing the information that's on there. You don't know what's incorrect or what needs to be fixed. So
just something to add to that, because I actually have a live story about that. My cousin, he was on a credit reporting site, which I won't name, gives him his score, obviously from one bureau, not both, and he doesn't know the information on the other side. And then the first page, you see what you can get approved for in terms of what loans, what banks would give you the loan based on your credit score. So it's already pushing him to go, you can borrow 20 grand here, you can borrow 10 grand at this credit card, straight away on the front page. So it can be dangerous for somebody who feels a bit vulnerable at the time, and it can get...
Yeah, totally agree with that. All right, so you mentioned before about TV, American system and all of that sort of stuff. Let's this thing that we see all the time is that you build your credit score by taking out a credit card and paying it back on time. What's myth or fact?
It's myth. That's not the best way to build your credit score. So there's a lot of information that impacts the credit score. So for example, any applications you make for finance, the lenders that you're applying for, how frequently you're applying for finance. It does show if you're paying your credit cards on time. There is positives and negatives to that repayment history. But we definitely don't encourage people to go and get a credit card as the way to build their credit.
It sounds a bit like my personal trainer who says to me, you can't out-train a crappy diet.
Yes.
So is that the case?
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
So you can't out-repay bad stuff.
Yes. So in America, they really encourage you to go and get finance, pay that off. You see that even parents will add their kids onto it really early, get them as an extra card holder and try and start building their credit reports. But it just doesn't work the same way here.
Yeah, well, America's a completely different beast. I saw a screenshot the other day of people putting their credit scores in their dating profiles.
Yeah, I think you can actually filter by credit scores in their dating profiles.
So I wonder if Australia will end up being that. Luckily, I'm not dating because I haven't checked mine in a while. Actually, it's probably trash. So we spoke before about you can build up parts of your score by good repayments and minimising the bad information. One of those is making sure that you're paying back stuff on time. Because what are the impacts of that? If you miss repayments, how does all of that work?
Yeah, so if you miss a payment by even 15 days, that can be shown on your credit report as either a missed repayment or there's other serious things that can come off the back of it for larger missed payments. That can end up impacting your credit report for 2 to 5 years. So.
Wow. And that's what you're talking about before, where either you get declined or you have to pay more for the same thing.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, wow. Okay. And then so with that, I sort of, as I'm going through and doing all this research and having a look at what people are saying online, a lot of people aren't really concerned about that because they're like, well, I'll just pay it and then it'll fix it. So is that a myth or a fact?
Myth. We hear that all the time. People find out there's something on their credit report and like, oh, well, that's fine. That was years ago. I'll just go pay that now. They don't realise that doesn't remove it from the credit report. It may update it to paid if it's done correctly, but it doesn't come off the credit report and can still impact your ability to apply for finance.
I mean, from the lender's perspective, when we look at credit reports and we're trying to give them finance, it'll show that if they've missed a payment, it won't show the amount of what they missed. So even if it's a $10 missed payment, it'll still show the exact same if you missed a $1,000 payment. So to the lender's eyes, it doesn't matter. We don't see the amount, so we don't know, but it's still adverse history to the lender's eyes and will naturally give them a higher rate because of its adverse history and risk.
Yeah, so you're talking about the monthly repayments and the repayment history information. Yeah, got it. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense.